welcome to the Butler Cabin of Student Television Studios. I'm Peter Elliott, joined alongside Luke Burgess, the Nick Faldo to my Jim Nance. The CitrusTV Board of Governors cordially invites you to our 2025 Masters Tournament Beat the Bookie preview. It is snowing here in Syracuse, but that doesn't matter. It's green in Augusta, and we're here to help you win some. Luke, this is pretty special.
Oh, it certainly is, Peter. I'm thrilled to be alongside you this evening.
I feel like I'm in Augusta right now with the studio, the green around us.
Fantastic lighting.
Oh,
the ambiance is spectacular.
The ambiance is so spectacular. All we need is the birds to chirp and the azaleas to bloom. We will see that on our TVs starting on Thursday. It is just an exciting time of year. We can't wait for the Masters to get going. But let's take a look at how we've been doing recently here on the program. Carson Fowler most recently got us back in the green last week. A great performance with the NCAA tournament. He had Florida winning. He also had Duke winning by a 6 to 10 point margin in the first half of the Final Four. Luke, a pretty good showing for our friend Carson.
Right, the self-proclaimed college basketball expert.
Exactly.
Selling himself none too short. A very impressive performance, some serious profits, although I've been told by our producers that's not going to top the leaderboard for the semester so far.
Yeah, $47, not good enough because, I mean, look at this guy. Skylar Wilkes is in the lead. I don't know if anyone's stopping that, maybe except for us here this week. Up $244 back in January. Austin Barrick in second, and then Carson slots in at that number 3 spot. Not too much negative action here, though. Only a couple guys following below in the black here. So here we go. Luke, we hopefully can wind up there in the top 3.
Absolutely. That'd be tremendous, Peter. Why don't you start us off?
Well, hoping we can knock Skylar, Austin, or Carson off the podium there. Let's do so now with our prop bets for the tournament. I'm starting with the adopted son of Scottsdale, the chillest guy on the tour, Max Broma. Look, it's been tough sledding as of late for the 34-year-old Homa. You're not going to see many people make this bet, so I'm brave enough to do it. Yes, he has missed 5 straight cuts. He also just announced that he's expecting the birth of his second child, but don't think that he's not locked in. Homa took 240 practice shots on the range on Tuesday, far more than any other player in the field. Yes, they tracked that as well. I'll throw $10 on the guy, plus 118. He finished in a tie for 3rd last year at Augusta. He's known for roasting fans on Twitter for their golf swings. I think he'll be cooking on Thursday and Friday. But how about 2 guys who will not only make the cut, but will be in contention on Sunday? If you ask anyone except Luke Burgess who is going to win the Masters this year, they'll almost certainly give you one of 2 answers: Scottie Scheffler or Rory McIlroy. But to quote that great old El Paso ad, why not both? We can do that with a dual forecast bet, which says Scheffler and McIlroy will finish at number 1 and number 2 at 1,600 odds for 10 American dollars. Here's the good thing. It's not like a trifecta bet in horse racing. Either golfer could finish in first, but I've got a sneaking suspicion that if Rory is in the hunt on Sunday, Scottie will be as well. Let's finish up with some fun. This last prop bet is for the love of the game. We're only sprinkling 5 bones on it, but I think someone's going to claim a hole-in-one, and they're going to do it in the second round. That's at plus 950. But it's not fun just saying that. Let's go even further. I don't know how familiar you are with this all-time sports moment, so let me take you back to a meaningless regular season baseball game in September of 2009. Mariners at Blue Jays. In the Seattle radio pregame show, Mike Blowers predicted that rookie Matt Tuiasosopo would hit his first career home run. Not only that, but he called the exact inning it would happen, the count, the pitch, that it would be a fastball, even where the home run would land in left field. This is me right now trying to pull a Mike Blowers. Will Zalatoris is our Tuiasosopo. I said it right that time. I think it happens at hole 16, where it almost always does at Rosebud. I think Zalatoris is going to do it with a 7-iron. Will it happen? Well, that's unlikely. But what if it does? That's when you'll wish you rode with me. Luke?
Peter, let me tell you a story, because that's what championship golf is all about. In 2022, Bob McIntyre was in contention at his National Open, the Scottish Open, going head-to-head with one of the greatest UK golfers of all time, Rory McIlroy. Well, on the 18th hole, with the lead, he hit his tee shot into the left rough, hit a bomb 5-wood inside of 10 feet, but he missed the putt, and Rory McIlroy went on to win. Well, the following year, the guy won the thing with nerves of steel performance down the line, also in contention with Rory McIlroy. This guy is not going to be nervous when he steps up to the first tee, as so many are at Augusta on Thursday, because he's already conquered the biggest moment of his golfing career. Give me $10 on Robert McIntyre at plus 4,500 as the first round leader because not only does this guy know how to shape the ball, but he's a heck of a player with nerves of steel. Another lefty who is performing incredibly well heading into the tournament, recent form often a great indicator of success at Augusta, Akshay Bhatia, dynamite 23-year-old player, had a numerous amount of college offers when he was 17 years old. Instead, he chose to turn pro, and the lefty has been a beast at big events. Just a few weeks ago in Jacksonville, finished T3 at the Players, and he can shape the heck out of the ball. Let me tell you something about what works well at Augusta, because it's important. This course sets up to be difficult for right-handed players, that is. More recently, it's become more and more common to shape the ball from left to right. That's what we call the fade, and that's pretty much what every single right-handed player is going to be playing off the tee. It used to be more common to play a draw, a ball that moves from right to left. Well, on the other side of the tee box as a left-handed player, that fade actually works to your advantage. Unfortunately, the trends have continued in the same direction there. Akshay Bhatia is a fantastic shaper of the ball. He's got a great short game. Give me $15 at plus 1,200 for the 23-year-old to finish top 5 in the Masters in just his second ever start. Peter talked about the hole-in-ones, and he wants one in the second round from Will Zalatoris. That's fantastic, but the last one wasn't. You have to go all the way back to Stewart Cink in 2022. Only 34 times has there been a hole-in-one at the Masters, and we're entering the 89th playing this upcoming weekend. They're not very common, and if you want to actually go back to the last one that wasn't on hole 16, you have to go back to 1947 when there was one on hole 12. So give me $5 at plus 150 for no hole-in-one this year. We'll have to wait a third consecutive year without a hole-in-one at the tournament before we get back to some hole-in-one action that is going to invigorate those crowds. All right, let's get over to our parlay. Peter's standing over at the wall. Peter.
All right, Luke, thanks so much. Let's move to our parlay portion of the program. Our producer, Adam, he wouldn't let me parlay a USA Ryder Cup win for September. It was too far out. Incredibly un-American of him. So I'm going to do the next best thing. I'm going to string together a $5 parlay that says 3 Americans will represent the Stars and Stripes on the leaderboard at the Masters. You knew where we were starting with Bryson here to finish in the top 10 at plus 190. Hand up, I have not been watching the latest live tournaments on Fox Business Network or Fox Sports 2, so I couldn't tell you how his Crushers GC squad is doing, but I have seen the viral series he did where he attempted to hit a hole-in-one at his house. It took him 134 shots, but he never smashed a window pane in his house. I think that counts for something. Also, he won the US Open last year and balled out at the other 2 domestic majors. Also, I've got Wyndham Clark to finish in the top 20 at plus 240. He is coming off a top 5 finish at the Houston Open, and I think he'll feel at home playing in front of the dozens of UGA Terry College of Business alumni also named Wyndham. We're rounding out this trifecta with what could be a controversial pick, but remember, retweets do not equal endorsements. Let's see Patrick Reed finish in the top 10 at plus 550. Remember, P. Reed slipped on the green jacket back in 2018. He won't be wearing it this year, but he always comes to play in Augusta, notching 3 top 10 finishes in his last 5 turns. His scorecard, though, will be watched closely. All right, friends, and just a recap of that last parlay. If you lay $5 on that, you could receive $315, fitting for us being here in the 315. My other prop bets here, Max Homa to make the cut at plus 118, Scottie Scheffler and Rory McIlroy both finishing in the top 2 at plus 1,600. That's $10 on that, and $5 on a hole-in-one somewhere in round 2, but I think it'll be Will Zalatoris. Luke?
I like that, but I must say, when I look at Wyndham Clark, I don't know that Augusta sets up great for his game. He had a hot streak and obviously played well last year. The guy is not the most accurate driver of the ball. You need to have precision around Augusta National. The rest of your picks, though, Peter, I'm a big fan of course, aside from that hole-in-one.
I appreciate it. You definitely differ there for understandable reasons. Of course, the history not on the side of the hole-in-one, but we love the magic. When it does happen, it's pretty special.
Yeah, when I look through my bets, that's $10 on Robert McIntyre as the first-round leader at plus 4,500, $15 on Akshay Bhatia to finish in the top 5 at plus 1,200, and no hole-in-ones, that's $5 on that, at plus 150. The one that my eyes gravitate to, and my money gravitates to as well, you might add, Akshay Bhatia. This kid is just so electric. I love the way that he plays. I love the way that he shapes the ball off the tee. That's, of course, so vital in the majors and Augusta National in particular. I think he's really going to put some more people inside his radar this weekend. Just a huge fan of the way that this guy plays.
He will be a fun young guy to watch. But let's move on just beyond that. Who you got winning the Masters tournament? That's really what matters here, Luke.
Yeah, well, Peter, I thought long and hard about this, and I go back to the Genesis Invitational, because as we go throughout the golf calendar, there's not a major until April, but there are major-like events that people compare to the Masters or the PGA, US Open, or the Open, and that kind of starts with the Genesis Invitational. And if you look at 6 of the last 9 winners of that tournament, well, they've gone on to win the Masters at some point in their career. This year, the winner of that tournament, albeit at Torrey Pines, away from Riviera Country Club, which was, of course, ravaged by the Los Angeles wildfires, it was Ludwig Åberg. He played phenomenal in that tournament, won down the stretch at -12. I've got him winning his first career major and the Masters, $20 at +1,800. And what a win this would be also, Peter, for the pace of play community.
Yes.
This guy gets up to the ball very quickly, 1-2 taps, and he's swinging away. Last year finished in 2nd place as well, so he has history there. Normally you need history to play well at this tournament that's, of course, so challenging. He put a ball in the water on the 11th hole. That was kind of it for him. I think this year he gets it done.
Ludwig is no Patrick Cantlay. He's not standing over the ball. He hits it and goes. That is really exciting. It feels like he's won a major before. He's always in contention. Honestly, if you would ask me a couple days ago,
just a few years ago. Yeah. The guy's burst onto the scene. I think it's his time this weekend.
I think he's due for it eventually, but not this Sunday. It's time. It is time for Rory McIlroy to do it, to finish his story. He's taking home his Grand Slam back to Holywood, Northern Ireland. I think it's finally going to happen. I can give you the stats. You've seen it all. He's had a phenomenal start to this season. He's not in the prime of his career, you would think, by how old he is, but he is having an exceptional start. He won the Pebble Beach earlier this winter, top 5 in the Houston Open most recently, and he has played so well in these majors as of late. We know that crushing defeat last year in the US Open to Bryson DeChambeau. I think this is his time. The stats say it, but also, Luke, doesn't your heart say it as well? Don't you believe that it's finally Rory's time?
You know, Peter, one of the things that I worry about is that my heart says it more than my head. Yeah. It's easy to drink the Kool-Aid with Rory McIlroy. Unfortunately, I think people have been doing that for years and years. A 2nd place finish back in 2022 when he holed out on 18 on Sunday from the bunker, right before Colin Morikawa holed out in the exact same hole at the exact same time.
Crushing.
I would love to see Rory have some success. I don't think it'll happen this weekend.
Well, we drink the Kool-Aid because it's good, and I'm going to keep drinking that, and I'm going to keep hoping that Rory McIlroy will come out on top here. You got to believe, and I really hope so. That's why we watch the Masters, because indeed it is a tradition unlike any other, and we thank you for watching this tradition unlike any other, the Masters preview here for Beat the Bookie. For Luke Burgess, I'm Peter Elliott. Thank you to our executive producer, Adam Hipsky, our associate producer, Griffin Bloomstein. Enjoy your Masters weekend. It is oh so special. Goodbye, friends.